Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Kusuma from Surya Plastic Surgery. I just brought a brand new exciting technology into the office. It's a laser, and I know there's a lot of lasers out there, but I investigated this specific device for some time, and I brought it in for a few specific reasons. Okay, so I'm going to go through in a few minutes a little bit about basics, very basics of laser technology that everybody should know, because lasers are not well understood in the general public, and the word is thrown around for everything like a catch-all bucket, but they're not. Lasers are very specific energy devices. Okay, all lasers of all types are based on the wavelength of the beam. Wavelength is how it's kind of like when light comes from the sun, it comes in a form of a wave. And same thing with lasers is that when lasers are emitting their energy, they come in the form of a wave. And they're very precise. They're very kind of narrow and very focused. But anyhow, the wavelength is very important because different wavelengths penetrate or interact with tissues differently. Some wavelengths don't go very deep in the skin because they just can't. They don't have the energy or the properties to enable them to penetrate the skin. Some penetrate the skin very well. Some are very specifically attracted to certain things in the skin that is something. It's almost like gravity or magnetism in a sense, is that if there's any color, if there's any pigment, if there's any specific things like water or substances in the skin or the tissues, certain wavelengths preferably interact with them as opposed to other ones because of the properties of that. We don't need to go into all the physics of that, but just keep that in mind, is that's why there's a hair removal laser specifically for hair. There's a laser for blood vessels that is very specific because it's red in color. There's lasers that don't work with all types of colors but only work with dark color, because it can work with that because of the properties of the color and substance in the tissues and things like that. So it's very specific. This particular laser that I brought is very specific for water. And most of our body, about 70% of our body, is made up of water. So for that reason, when you have a laser beam with a specific wavelength that is attracted to water at the highest level, which this one is, then you could do some very versatile things with it without causing undue damage. Okay, so this particular laser called UltraClear Plus, 3D Miracle, which are all different treatments used with this laser. So the three things that we do are called 3D Miracle. I'm going to designate it with M. There's UltraClear, there's UltraClear Plus, and many variations. This is not the laser, but this is the treatment name. Okay, the laser is not the name of this. These are treatment names, and the reason they're named is because this one is very quick and pain-free. These are deeper peels, and as you go to plus, it's even deeper. So depending on the person, depending on the need, basically, we use different treatment settings using this UltraClear laser for different patients. Okay, and the reason this is good is because it's very versatile. It can work with all skin types. Okay, my skin type. So skin types is something that you should also know about. They range from very fair to very dark, and everything in between, right? So usually, since I said lasers are very specific, they're attracted to specific colors and specific properties and specific depth. You can't use the same laser for everybody and everything. So that's why doing skin treatments for darker skin tones is difficult. Historically, it's been very difficult because you get problems with pigment. But this particular laser, because it's so precise and so tunable, it can be used for all skin types, from the fairest to the darkest. And I'm on this end of the spectrum, obviously, right? And I just had my treatment about 2.5-3 weeks ago on my skin, and it was safe and it was comfortable because I wanted to test it out on myself before I tested on patients. And I've been back at work pretty much the same day. I did it during the day while I was working, and I came back to work the same day, right? So it works for everything. In addition, since this can be done with very low settings, it could be done as a lunchtime treatment where patients can come in the middle of the day or the end of the day or the beginning of the day. They do the treatment. As a matter of fact, we just did a Sports Illustrated model yesterday. Her name is Victoria. She came in the morning, we did her treatment, and that evening she went for a shoot, or that afternoon, and this weekend she has a very important photo shoot. So there's no risk of that. As a matter of fact, they may look very nice and tight and healthy, in a 2-3 days for them to, look fantastic on camera. So it's very helpful for that. So the age categories also. So age, this is great from 20s all the way to 80s plus, or whatever age categories, because it works well. For the patients who are on the lower end of the spectrum, we call it prejuvenation. So living in Florida, of course, there's a lot of sun, there's a lot of sun damage, which is treatable. So you, besides wearing sunblock, you can do these treatments as a maintenance program, like going to the gym. So every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, every 3 months, whatever worked for your schedule. If you do this 3D miracle treatment from your 20s on, your skin health can be maintained. Because if you remember, mothers and grandmothers, fathers and grandfathers now who've been living from the 50s and 60s used to put oil, and bake in the sun, used to get, look good tanned, but by the time they turn 50, 60, their skin looks like alligator skin. It's just terrible, and they get skin cancers and such. So if you take care of your skin from your 20s and do this prejuvenation treatment with the 3D miracle for all skin types, from the fairest to the darkest, your skin health will be maintained very, very well. Because it's like I said, there's nothing you can do besides intervention to take care of your skin. You can take care of your muscles, you can take care of your diet, but this is something that somebody has to intervene, and this laser is a very good one to use for that. In addition, this laser can penetrate, if this is skin, it can go to various depths underneath the skin. So you can do collagen remodeling, skin remodeling, and skin tightening as well. So not only can you make the surface look better, but you can cause skin tightness, because this laser is so precise that I can drill down, basically almost like a micro needling treatment, all the way down to 1500 micrometers, which is the depth of the scale that we do for skin. But it can go fairly deep underneath the skin, which is, for the skin distances, is very deep. So depending on the degree of problem patients have with skin laxity and sun damage, you can cause not only the surface to look smoother and better, you can cause actually skin contraction for them, skin resurfacing and collagen remodeling. So it's great for that. As a matter of fact, you could do the surface improvement and the collagen remodeling all at the same time, because of the versatility of the settings. So if somebody wants to do what we call an UltraClear Plus treatment, which is very deep treatment for people who have skin looseness and need collagen remodeling and tightness and surface to look smoother, we could combine them. So it's very versatile for all of these purposes. So this is good for pigmented skin, this is good for all ages, this is good for preventative maintenance, this is good for very problematic skin that has undergone a lot of sun damage, a lot of looseness, a lot of loss of springiness or elasticity of the skin. It can be done for that as well. And the post-op instructions obviously are going to vary from treatment to treatment, that we'll go over. But these are some basics I wanted to go over about this specific laser called, again, UltraClear Laser. The treatments are 3D Miracle, UltraClear treatment, and UltraClear Plus treatment, and we're offering this at our Boca office. So please come visit and take advantage of this great technology. Thank you.